Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the lives of some pretty remarkable women from the Bible,
Oh, yeah.
Eve, Hagar, and Sarah.
Yeah.
You might think you know their stories,
Yeah.
but we're going to uncover some surprising insights, I think,
Yeah.
that are incredibly relevant to your life today.
Interesting.
For instance, did you know that Hagar
Uh-huh.
was the first person in Scripture to actually give God a name?
Oh, wow.
She called him El Roy,
Elroy.
the God who sees me. Intriguing, right? Let's get started.
It's amazing how these women, you know,
Yeah.
living in a patriarchal society
Mm-hmm.
where men held most of the power, still managed to make their mark. Their
Ah,
stories are woven throughout the Bible,
right.
offering us this timeless wisdom about faith, resilience, and just, navigating tough
Yeah.
situations.
Okay, let's start with Eve.
Okay.
We often hear her story as kind of a cautionary tale about
Mhm.
disobedience in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
But is that all there is to it?
Well, it's true that Eve's choice has consequences.
Mm-hmm.
But if we look closer, her story also reveals the possibility of redemption.
Okay.
Even after she makes a mistake, God doesn't abandon her.
Okay.
He continues to guide and care for her and Adam,
Yeah.
showing that second chances are possible even after we mess up.
That's a thought-provoking perspective. It's easy to focus on the fall from grace,
Yeah.
but Eve's experience really resonates with anyone who has ever made a choice they regret. I mean, we've all been there, trying to pick ourselves up and find a way forward.
Yeah,
Her story gives me hope that we can always learn from our mistakes and find a path back to grace.
exactly.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we're all human,
Yeah.
prone to making mistakes.
Yeah.
But there's always hope for recovery and growth.
This brings us to Hagar, whose story is one of incredible hardship and mistreatment, but also of incredible strength.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about what she went through?
Well, Hagar was an Egyptian servant to Sarah and Abraham.
Okay.
She faced immense challenges,
Right.
being used and ultimately cast out.
Yeah.
But even in her darkest moments, she encounters the divine.
Okay.
And this is where her story gets really powerful.
Mm.
She becomes the first person in the Bible to give God a name,
Wow.
El Roy, the God who sees me.
That's incredible.
Imagine feeling so overlooked and alone and then realizing there's this higher power
Yeah.
who acknowledges your pain and sees your worth.
Right.
It's a powerful testament to her faith and her understanding of God's character, even in the face of such adversity.
Sometimes I feel lost in the crowd. Like
Yeah.
my struggles are invisible to everyone else.
Yeah, I hear that.
Hagar's story is like a lifeline to anyone who's ever felt that way.
Right.
It's a reminder that even when we feel alone and unseen, we're not forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
There's a force out there that sees and values us.
It's incredibly comforting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It offers solace to the marginalized and the forgotten, assuring them that their pain matters and their existence is acknowledged.
Her story also reveals her incredible strength.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't just survive, she named God.
Exactly.
That takes courage and faith, especially given everything she had to overcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit,
Right.
the ability to find strength and hope, even in the most difficult circumstances.
Right.
It reminds us that we have that inner strength to overcome challenges and find comfort in something greater than ourselves.
Okay, let's talk about Sarah.
Okay.
She's often seen as kind of a pillar of faith,
Yeah.
but her story is more complex than that, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. Sarah's journey is one of unwavering faith, yes,
Yeah.
but also of doubt, mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and a long, challenging wait for God's promise to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
She's more relatable than many people realize.
Absolutely. I mean, she laughed when she was told she would have a child in her old age.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Right.
But then her laughter turns into joy when Isaac is finally born.
Oh, wow.
What a beautiful transformation.
Yeah, that transformation is key. It shows how her faith evolved from skepticism to profound belief.
Right.
Her experience embodies the human struggle with doubt.
Mm-hmm.
We wrestle with what seems impossible, and ultimately we learn to surrender to a power greater than ourselves.
This is a powerful message of hope.
It is.
Sarah's story teaches us to hold on to faith even when obstacles feel insurmountable, to trust that God's timing is perfect. And his promises are always true.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Sarah's journey assures us that even when we doubt or stumble, God's plan for us remains in motion.
Right.
Sometimes we simply need patience and trust in divine timing for those plans to unfold.
What I find fascinating is that these women lived in a patriarchal society, yet their stories hold such power.
Yeah.
They weren't just wives and mothers.
No.
Their experiences, struggles, and triumphs resonate across centuries,
Yeah, they do.
teaching us valuable lessons about faith resilience and navigating the complexities of life.
You're right.
Yeah.
Their stories transcend time and cultural boundaries because they speak to universal human experiences.
Making difficult choices, facing hardship,
Mhm.
holding on to hope,
Yeah.
and finding strength in our beliefs.
It's as if their stories were intentionally woven into the Bible to remind us that we are not alone in our struggles.
That's true.
They faced challenges, made mistakes, and experienced doubt,
Yeah,
but they also found redemption, inner strength, and a deep connection with the divine.
absolutely.
Their lives are a testament to the human spirit and the transformative power of faith.
Absolutely. Their stories remind us that even amidst hardship, we can find meaning, purpose, and a connection to something greater than ourselves.
That's a powerful reminder.
Oh,
Now let's take a closer look at each woman's story to uncover the unique nuances and lessons they offer.
okay.
Let's start by going back to Eve in the Garden of Eden.
Okay. Thinking back to Eve, she's often depicted as this temptress,
Right.
succumbing to the serpent's trickery.
Right.
But the text itself doesn't really frame it that way.
Okay.
It says that she saw that the fruit was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's easy to judge.
Yeah.
But haven't we all been tempted by things that seem appealing in the moment?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It makes Eve's actions more understandable.
Yeah.
She wasn't just being rebellious.
Yeah.
She was seeking knowledge and understanding.
Right.
It makes me wonder, could her choice be seen as an early expression of human curiosity, the desire to learn and grow?
That's a fascinating interpretation.
Yeah.
And it ties into this whole concept of free will.
Right.
God gave humans the ability to choose.
Uh-huh.
And with choice comes the potential for both good and bad decisions.
Right.
So Eve's story then becomes a powerful reminder that even our mistakes can be opportunities for learning and growth.
And speaking of challenging situations,
Yes.
Hagar's story is such a testament to resilience.
Absolutely.
She wasn't just facing personal hardship. She was navigating a complex social structure.
Right.
As a servant, she had very limited rights and faced vulnerability, within the patriarchal society of that time. Absolutely. And, for many listeners,
Yeah.
the dynamics between Sarah, Abraham, and Hagar might resonate with experiences of power imbalances
Right.
or difficult family relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
And so Hagar's story reminds us that even when we feel powerless, we still have inner strength and that capacity to persevere. And her encounter with God, where she names him El Roy,
Right.
is such a powerful reminder that we're never truly alone, even in the face of immense challenges.
That's what makes her story so impactful.
Yeah.
It's not just about surviving. It's about finding strength and solace in something greater than yourself, even when you're surrounded by hardship and injustice.
Right.
It's a message of hope and empowerment for anyone who's ever felt overlooked or marginalized.
Exactly. Hagar's story encourages us to look beyond our immediate circumstances and connect with the source of strength and hope.
Right.
It's a reminder that even when we feel like we're at our lowest point,
Yeah.
there's a power that sees us, hears us, and acknowledges our struggles.
Now, Sarah's story also reveals the complexities of living in a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
She's often viewed as this woman of faith,
Mm-hmm.
but she also experiences moments of doubt and even manipulation.
That's right.
For example, she encourages Abraham to have a child with Hagar,
Yes.
which leads to this whole web of complicated relationships.
Yes, and that's what makes Sarah so relatable.
Right.
She's not just this biblical icon.
Right.
She's this complex human being
Right.
with flaws and vulnerabilities.
She makes mistakes.
She does.
She experiences jealousy and insecurity,
Yeah.
and she grapples with these difficult choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yet through it all, her faith remains a constant.
It does.
Her laughter, both at the beginning when she doubts God's promise
Yes.
and later at Isaac's birth,
Mm-hmm.
is such a human response.
Yes, it is.
It shows how her faith isn't static, it evolves
Yeah.
and deepens through her experiences.
It also highlights this key theme,
What's that?
the power of trusting in divine timing.
Okay.
Sarah's story reminds us that God's plans may not always align with our own timelines.
Right.
But even when things seem impossible or delayed, we can find peace in knowing that God's promises remain true.
Thinking about these three women together,
Yeah.
It strikes me how their stories challenge traditional interpretations of women in the Bible.
Yeah.
They weren't just passive figures in the background.
No, they weren't.
They were active participants in shaping their own destinies and impacting the course of history.
That's an important observation. Their stories offer this more nuanced perspective on the roles women played in biblical times.
Right.
They were wives and mothers, yes,
Yeah.
but they were also strong, resourceful individuals
That's
who made difficult choices,
right.
faced challenging circumstances, and left a lasting impact on the world around them.
And it's not just about the historical context. Their stories offer these timeless insights into the human experience.
Yeah.
They faced universal challenges, longing for purpose, navigating relationships, dealing with disappointment and loss.
Yeah.
And their stories kind of provide a roadmap for how to navigate those challenges with grace, resilience, and faith.
Precisely. They remind us that regardless of our background or beliefs, we all share common human experiences.
Yeah.
And their stories offer these valuable lessons about how to find strength, hope, and connection amidst life's complexities.
So as we delve deeper into the lessons we can learn from these women,
Okay.
let's start by considering how their experiences can guide us in our own relationships.
Okay. Thinking about relationships, Eve's story really highlights the importance of communication and trust.
Oh.
Her conversation with the serpent, where she's tempted by the forbidden fruit,
Right.
shows how easily we can be swayed by outside influences.
Uh-huh.
It reminds us to be discerning about the voices that we listen to
Yeah.
and to build these strong foundations of communication and trust in our own relationships.
That's such a relevant point for today. We're bombarded with information and opinions from all sides. Eve's story reminds us to be mindful of the sources we trust.
Right.
And to cultivate that open communication with our loved ones.
Exactly. It's about being aware of the potential for manipulation.
Right.
And seeking guidance from those who have our best interests at heart.
And Hagar's story offers a powerful lens, I think,
Yeah.
where understanding the complexities of family dynamics.
Yeah, it does.
The tensions between Sarah, Abraham, and Hagar
Right.
really highlight the challenges of power imbalances and the potential for jealousy and resentment within families.
It's a story that resonates with many people
Yeah.
who have experienced strained family relationships.
Sure.
Hagar's experience as a servant,
Right.
bearing a child for her mistress,
Yeah.
raises all these questions about consent, exploitation, and the complexities of blended families.
Right.
It's a story that invites us to reflect on our own family dynamics
Yeah.
and to consider how we can navigate those relationships with compassion and understanding.
Her story also reminds us that even within difficult family situations, it's possible to find strength and resilience.
It is.
Her encounter with God, where she names him El Roi, shows that even when we feel abandoned or mistreated by those closest to us, there's a higher power who sees our pain and offers comfort and support.
Absolutely. Her story is a testament to the enduring human spirit
Yeah.
and the power of finding connection and solace, even in the midst of challenging circumstances.
And Sarah's story, despite taking place in a patriarchal society, demonstrates that women can be powerful agents of change.
That's right.
She's not just a wife or a mother.
No.
She's a woman of faith who plays this pivotal role in God's covenant with Abraham. Her journey reminds us that women have always had a profound impact on the world.
They have.
Shaping history and influencing the course of events.
Her story challenges us to reconsider traditional gender roles. And to recognize the strength, wisdom, and agency of women throughout history.
For sure.
It's a reminder that women have always been leaders, innovators, and sources of inspiration.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the lives of Eve, Hagar, and Sarah, what's the key takeaway you hope our listener will remember?
I hope they remember that these women weren't just biblical figures confined to ancient texts. They were real women. With complex emotions, challenges, and triumphs. Their stories are our stories. They remind us that the human experience is universal, connecting us across time and cultures.
Their stories encourage us to embrace our own complexities, to navigate challenges with resilience, and to find strength and hope in our own unique journeys.
And to remember that even in the face of adversity, there's always a source of strength and guidance available to us, whether it's our faith, our community, or the enduring power of the human spirit.
Thank you for taking this deep dive with us.
Of course.
We hope you've gained new insights into the lives of these remarkable women and discovered how their stories continue to offer wisdom and inspiration for navigating the complexities of life today.